Asaph Africa and everything. Follow, get left behind, y'all.
Visions of Dr. Goma staring at me. Unite the country with rapping, could it actually happen? I know they feel the pressure, but they scared to at me. So people's rapper was the last time I talked about Tammy. The greatest in the city, greatest in the country. But most of these awards are faker than the money. But still I lead the way, you stealing nothing from me. The king of rap, son, I'm more than buzzing. It's 2020 and the mafia controlling the winds. They wanna see you do good, just not better than them. Talent don't mean a thing if your mentor's stingy. You got the youth all scheming to be your spots. Hey Lenny, that's facts. It's hell though, don't know who I'ma vote for. Soko, they wanted encore.
I was bigger than Enzo.
The mumble, consistent with the action. I hit the highest score and all I needed was passion. A prophet in my city, power in my pen. I stopped working with a few, cause value doesn't beg. I keep it to myself, but really heavy is the head. And now another female rapper trying to sneak into my bed. For the game trying to play me. Is it hate or is envy? Son to say that I'm lazy. Listen, Chiunda, I'm pacing. They overlook because I'm not using Vanette, but I'm consistent with the fire. Now they treat me like a threat. And my people going through it, everybody feeling stressed. If I make a vid for freedom, now they might just want me dead. I was called to change a nation, that's the mission from the start. Now I gotta find a balance for your hearts and for the charts, yeah. Another year in pursuit of respect. They can't ignore cause the vibe is correct. Word to misread. It's King's Villa, Angel rappers are in danger. I'm ripping to the third Chimurenga. Shit, or maybe World War III. Trump or ED. We all got played. Are these the last days? 40 years in the wilderness, 50 the end of pain. But tribalism alive is charming, you cut the rain. Survival of the crooked, hustle study the game. You lazy with changing money, you busy praying for change. I'm bigger than the city, I'm pushing, it's really plain. Plotting my dominion with Gustavo deep in the range. My brother Ganya's, you got my back, we gon' be kings. Noble Shava with the Mara rhymes told me that I'm lit. I don't need the validation, I do it for my father. I do it for my city, looking wavy at the Namas. Season after season with the fire sound. December 28th, that's when I shut it down. It was plain to see, but still you doubting me? I swear you owe me an apology. Exactly.
Welcome back. It's Respect the Plug Season 2. I know I've been quiet for more than a year, but we're back now. Hopefully every week, new seasons, new episodes. Got a lot of things to talk about. So I had to start off the show with Asaph's new freestyle, which he dropped on his birthday. So yeah, and as usual, you know where you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, everywhere you find podcasts, we're there. So what we're doing this year, we're gonna have some exclusives, some interviews, have some guests, talk about the culture, talk about what's going on, what's happening, who's doing what, who's not doing what. So stay tuned for Season 2 of Respect the Plug.
Yeah. Open it me, Richira Kabag. Yeah. I'm sick of them da kuruara. I'm sick of vanu who's got kuchi that I feel then vakufara. Why everybody got a problem kananda kushanda. Mageso yutan like a kura now. Same danga ndichi fura nabo. But then pabo ndichi fura napo ndichi swera nabo ndichi seva nabo. Wakandipa my wings, they could sakura get. So I'm something like Pac, something like Suku, I'm something like Michael, such a disciple. Nyango kabudo kutsoka I'm a psycho. Ndakungo fungonge psycho. Kunyora nchidzimonge typo. My words like a soft nge pipe. I'm sick of them da kuruara. I'm sick of vanu who's got kuti that I feel then vakufara. Why everybody got a problem kananda kushanda. Mageso yutan like a kura now. Same danga ndichi fura nabo. But then pabo ndichi fura napo ndichi swera nabo ndichi seva nabo. Boys na guru gushanda. Kupata big, don't you understand? To kuchaka big, never scanner. Kuchaka big, never scanner. Boys na guru gushanda. Kupata big, don't you understand? To kuchaka big, never scanner. Kuchaka big, never scanner.
So, we recently had Valentine's Day, and even though it was a leap year, the females still expected something. And well, naturally, Valentine's Day releases always drop. And this year was an interesting year. We saw Soko Matemai dropping the single Mine, which is, I think, his second love song ever, which says a lot, but it's a good one, and I'll be dropping that later. Another Valentine's Day release was also 6 The Law with his single Third World Love. Well, the single dropped before Valentine's, but the video dropped on the day. Some refreshing visuals that shows us what happens in the third world, Zimbabwe to be specific, where you go on a date and you can't afford what's on the menu, so you just order water. So that's something y'all need to check out. If you love slow music for the females, that dropped on Valentine's Day. And another video that also dropped on Valentine's Day by the UK-based comedian Monashe, simply titled Chido. You might have seen promo about it online. That also dropped on Valentine's Day. Go check it out. It's got an interesting storyline set somewhere in the rural areas. And it's basically, to me, I thought it was like the Zimbabwean version of How I Met Your Mother, which is not a slight to it, but which actually relates to our current situation. Because Monashe is based in the UK, but most of the guys in the video, you will find that there's Tinaya Wayne from Special Class, and also Melinda Shumba from Special Class, and a host of other known names you find in that video. So shout out to Monashe with his single Chido, which he dropped on Valentine's Day. So for now, I'ma do a double play, back to back. Soko Matemai's Mine and 6 The Law's Third World Love. So I'll see you on the other side.
Looking right across the room.
Stop it.
Had to come closer for the zoom. I think I like the way you move, girl. I just wanna take you to my room.
Already know that I can set you up a vibe. Set you up a vibe, alright. All you gotta do is let me make you mine. Let me make you mine, alright. Already know that I can set you up a vibe. Set you up a vibe, alright. All you gotta do is let me make you mine. Singing like, oh, 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 baby, now I got you singing like,
you were the realest who ever did it. I'm giving us 100%. Putting down work, you never have to regret how you let me in your life and you opened up your chest. Ukanitambiza moyo wako, ukanitibatisisa, hold my hand, let's go, and never let go. You know the world is cold, ichakudisa until muviri wako wakupisa. And even though I'm your biggest fan, I hope I never blow it. I'm just so emotional and I'm too scared to show it. But you ever unonya tukundiketa. I know I can't but I just wanna do it better. We should be together till my face edu afanana. Zesa nezinwa pato sangana tospakana. We drive each other crazy. Dentozo pakana. Mazirudo hopo tichipanana.
Already know that I can set you up a vibe. Set you up a vibe, alright. All you gotta do is let me make you mine. Let me make you mine, alright. Already know that I can set you up a vibe. Set you up a vibe, alright. All you gotta do is let me make you mine. Let me make you mine, alright. I'ma make it feel like, oh, oh, oh. Baby, now I got you singing like, baby, now I got you singing like, mommy, you looking like butter when you popping in the body and your melanin. Said I've been looking at, thinking all the crazy little things that got me running dead by.
Wish we could be like the chicken and couple, yeah. Sorry to burst your bubble. I know you love me, but in this economy, there's no future I can see when it comes to you and me. Do to say, I know that you just say we okay, but we both know it's far from okay. Swear that it's making me so afraid. Ndoku pay. When was the last time I got paid? Your friends don't even know that I'm back. I wanna know what's making you stay. If you need to go, I won't let you go. I won't even fight, baby. I won't even try, baby. If you need to leave, I will let you leave. My heart's on my sleeve. I will not deceive, yeah. Ndokuda. Asikana uchida kuyenda. Andira mi. Ndokuda. Asikana uchida kuyenda. Andira mi.
On these episodes, 5 minutes of game, I thought I'd talk about a burning issue that keeps coming up in a lot of conversations about why Zim Hip-Hop is not progressing. I'll just add a couple of thoughts on it as an insider who's been in the inner circle for about a decade now. Why Zim Hip-Hop is not progressing. Okay, first things first, one, a lot of the dope music stays in the studio. I, for one, can tell you at least 30 dope tracks that I know that were never released, that we just heard in the studio, and that was that. Songs never came out. People just came to the studio to listen to them, and that was that. And they never dropped. I don't know if it's the artists who thought the songs weren't that dope or what, or people just enjoy making music to keep in their studios. I don't know. But this year, I think we need to change that. We need to see the bigger picture, have a wider approach. Oh, and another thing, I almost forgot, Burna Boy is coming. And well, I'm not a fan of Burna Boy. I would rather prefer a big local artist doing a show. Oh, which reminds me again, what happened to Takura's Fill Up the HICC? Because last time I checked, he said if he got 5,000 retweets, he'd do it. And I think it's almost 2 years now. He's just gone quiet on that. I think that's also something that's also pulling us back as Zim Hip-Hop. And well, Takura is another controversial character. Some might say, nah, he's not Zim Hip-Hop. He sings whatever he sings, but he identifies as Zim Hip-Hop, so we'll put him in that bracket. Because that's like the same thing. If you check Post Malone, he's called a hip-hop artist, but he doesn't rap, he sings, but he's still a hip-hop artist. Another example, you can check even Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg didn't rap, but he was still a hip-hop artist. So that's another thing that's keeping Zim Hip-Hop down. These labels that we try to put on everything. Like, I remember the time people were labeling XQ as an urban groover, not a rapper, but XQ is a rapper. I don't know why people stay focused on these nitty-gritties, these labels, instead of just appreciating the work that people are putting in. If you check XQ, he's been consistent. He always has a track in heavy rotation. He's doing his thing. So instead of the Zim Hip-Hop community celebrating him, they try to pull him down and not even label him as Zim Hip-Hop. So that's another thing. Like, we are already in upcoming genre, which is sad because we've been upcoming for the past decade. But if you check globally, hip-hop is pop music. Pop music is now hip-hop. Hip-hop is dominating worldwide, but in Zim, it's not dominating. So basically, right now, it looks like the Zim version of hip-hop is Zim dancehall. That's taken over, because if you check the way they dress hip-hop. Even the way they spit hip-hop. It's just, these little nitty-gritties and whatnot. So instead of putting labels, let's just make an effort to push the culture forward and stop these unnecessary beefs. And that's another thing, beefs. No one wants to see anyone achieve anything, because I've noticed this not just from artists, but even the media outlets, like even bloggers. I've seen bloggers beef, which really is a dumb thing when you're supposed to be promoting the culture, uplifting it. Y'all are busy measuring who's got the biggest. But that's not the time for that, because right now, we've been laying low for too long. And some might say that, no, the music they're making is not relevant, which is wrong. Because I hear a lot of Zim Hip-Hop almost on a daily basis. And they're all relevant songs that are relevant. Even if you check the video, check even Landlord. Like, I talked about it before, but that's another good example. That's a relatable Zimbabwean video. You don't have to be a Zim Hip-Hop fan or a hip-hop fan to get what that video is trying to say. So that argument that people talk about, Zim Hip-Hop is not making relevant music, I think that's out of the picture. Another thing, Zim Hip-Hop artists rely too much on airplay. If you check our cousin genre, which we're related to, the Zim dancehall, the way they broke through was through the streets. You'd hear them in combis, you'd hear them in tuck shops, you'd hear them everywhere. They only started getting airplay on radio because they'd got airplay in the streets. So instead of Zim Hip-Hop targeting the streets, we're targeting radio stations. And well, radio stations play music that makes the money, but that's the whole point of a radio station, is to bring advertisers in. So some songs while they may be good, they may not be playable on radio, because radio stations have their committees that sit down and choose probably 5 tracks from 100. And while you just want to break through radio, I also know a lot of people who don't listen to radio, who get their music online via YouTube, via WhatsApp, and they don't even know a single song on radio. So why are we still looking at radio like it's the only outlet that we need? Because we don't need radio, to be honest. We just need music in the streets. Music in the streets makes shows get done, because people at the end, after listening to the music, after vibing to it, they want to see that guy perform in action. Like, okay, how does he sound live? And Zimbabweans are a tough crowd. They like their live performances. usually with live bands and with a lot of stage presence. So yeah, before you do your live shows, you also need to put that into effect. So yeah, that's my 5 minutes of game.